Thank you guys for joining me on today. For this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about Franchise Hockey Manager 2 coming out. And I must say, I'm really excited about this game. It comes out September 28th, and up until October 5th, you can get the game for 25% off. It's available for PC and Mac, so for you Mac fans who've been dying for a hockey sim game like this, and you only have a Mac, no PC, I feel like this game is right up your alley. The biggest feature, when I actually heard about this on Twitter from the devs themselves, they responded to one of my friends, co-podcasters, you probably know him quite well, Crazy Canuck asked, is there online? And they dropped the bomb that said there is basic online league support. Now, I don't know what this means. It says basic, so implies maybe it's a little bit more streamlined than the offline mode. But nonetheless, the fact that you can play online with your friends in this GM mode, rivaling against your friends, I think that's huge. That is a game changer, and no one else I can offer that. And I think it's huge just to play against your friends and try and see, like when you trade for that first round pick and you have that stud coming up in the draft that everyone knows about. No longer is it just like some 35-year-old winger and like a third round pick. No, that human on the other end knows what your game is, and he's going to demand realistic stuff or better stuff. It's not just trying to figure out how to cheese the AI. So that's pretty cool. I'm just going to touch over some things. I'll leave the blog down below. You guys can go read what they've offered. Revamped tactics system. I think it's crazy what they've done. Just, you can now tell players. You can tell, if you have the Kings, you can tell Doughty to pinch in a specific moment. You can tell a center on the power play to get in front of the net to screen the goalie. You can tell those players what to do. It's not just setting stuff up. So I think that's really cool. One of the other things is just, I may not use this mode very much, except to first maybe take control of the Caps and draft Alex Ovechkin and see how I can, how can I take control of that franchise from the start and win multiple cups with him. You can go all the way back to 1931, and they break down they've given you, they give you a season preview, like it says, and so you always know what you're going into. Back to 1931, and they adjusted the historical dollar to match, so it's not just like today's money; it's actual back then. So that's pretty cool. You can hire coaches that all they do is coach. You just be the GM, and that's pretty cool. So many other things. The face gen hockey, it takes into account weight loss, happy or sad. That's pretty cool. The big thing that I just want to go over, guys, and I'm not going to waste too much of your time. I'm just here to tell you about this game because I'm going to be getting it. It is not a questionable buy. I'm going to be getting this day one. I think I'm going to have a blast with it, especially for the online. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, we'll go on this page first, is a lot of, I've heard from some people that they ask me, how did I ever get into these type of games, because they look so complex from a distance. And I think Franchise Hockey Manager has done a great job of streamlining all the information to make it accessible. You want to know unsigned draftees, you want to know all your team stuff, it's right there. The league, you can just click and it's there. They even have rules, which is pretty cool. You can have your draft log, see your draft of all the years, tactics, game plan, home. I mean, everything's right here. It's very centralized. Roster, lines, tactics. These are all things that are quick and accessible to you, and they pop out at you visually. Here's another example with your player. You have your profile, rating, scouting. You can have your history edit. I don't know what that's for, but it's all right there. You can get all this information. They're just quick, easy tabs right in front of you. You don't have to go digging for that information. So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing that I wanted to point out too is just, again, the screen, to some of you guys, it may it's a little bit overwhelming, but just having these tabs, box score, stats, tactics, lineup, and then you can filter out so you can make the rink as busy or as less busy as you want. You can see who has who, your matchups for the lineups, game stats. It's all right there. And so I think what Franchise Hockey Manager has done very well is the layout as a whole is very clean. I mean, and that's what I love. It's all visually appealing. This light blue, that's a stellar color. Whoever picked that, job well done. you can see the dates coming up so you don't feel lost. I've actually had that in the past where I'm not aware that the draft is coming up or trade deadline. But in this game, they tell you, and you can sim to those dates. And so that's great for YouTube. You can sim up to when you have to re-sign your players. And you can have GM, head coach, like I said. There's your news section of everything going on around the game or the game world. And so again, streamlining everything. You have your manager, league, team controls, the game. I think they did a great job. Once again, guys, I just want to say, if you're on PC, if you're on Mac, this is a no-brainer. PC, I would get it, especially for the online and what they've done. The game engine, this is the last thing I want to tell you guys about. It's a really cool feature where the game engine will recognize if your fourth liner is a fourth liner, and then they'll grade him individually on that performance. So because a fourth liner typically isn't leading the league in scoring, he's not racking up a ton of points, typically the game may give him like a 4 or 5 or whatever. But in Franchise Hockey Manager 2, the game recognizes that he's a fourth line winger, and they'll judge him based on that rating. And I think that's really cool. That's a really cool feature, and it's a great way to judge if your guys are playing well without judging strictly by points and such. And so I think that helps, players know, like, is this fourth line winger really worth keeping? And it's like, he doesn't have much potential, but he has that 8 game rating. He's a valuable piece to your team. So guys, I will leave this blog down below. If you want to read, it has a link to all their stuff, the league expansion support, the revamped tactics system, where I think I told you guys, I don't know if I did, but you can tell, like, if you have the Kings, you can tell Doughty to pinch when you're losing. Crazy stuff that they've added. And there's the game engine, all that stuff. So, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Go check it out. Be excited. Online leagues, that's the feature that has me buzzing the most. So, guys, I will leave it here. Link to this blog down below. I'll also leave their Twitter. Go check them out. Have a great day. I am Sully, and take care.